30 days at work. Now, if you are the type of person who is finding themselves, especially if you're a woman leader, who's finding yourself kind of overlooked, undervalued, you wonder why other people's efforts and achievements seem to just be recognized. Well, for you, it's not happening. Then I want you to stay here and pay attention today, because I'm not only going to share you with the common mistakes that are being made, I'm also going to share you 3 really easy, simple steps that you can take that will actually increase your visibility and as well as the impact and influence around your work within the next 30 days. So if you can do those 3 steps, just 3, then I know you're going to be able to have that increased visibility, which is going to lead to new promotion opportunities or new project opportunities at work for yourself. Okay. So let's get into those 3 mistakes. So oftentimes what I have seen is that there is the first mistake is that you avoid promoting your achievements. So what happens here is you're assuming that others are going to naturally notice all of the hard work and all of the achievements and accomplishments that you've had at work. Except it doesn't happen, right? Because you're still going, well, why is Joe Blow over there from accounting, he's been recognized for the achievements he's made, and yet I have done that much more, and I'm still off here in the never heard of me land. All right. So the first one is you're actually avoiding promoting your achievements because you're assuming that others are going to naturally notice them, right? It's sort of that old adage of I'm going to allow my work to speak for itself. Well, it doesn't. The second one, you are often crediting your achievements to the team or to other people. So, for example, and I want to caveat this briefly with that there's nothing wrong with attributing your team to their accomplishments and achievements. And there also needs to be a part of what is the role that you played, because you are also a key part of your team's accomplishments. So one of those common mistakes that I see happening is that women leaders are actually crediting the achievements of the department, of the team, and even of yourself to team efforts or to somebody else's efforts. So you've discounted your own role and your own contribution because you believe that it is a team effort, and you believe that you want to be the person that is recognized as a people leader, and that you've included your team and you've forgotten yourself in that, taking credit for the achievements that you have. And the third one is you don't build relationships or network actively throughout the organization. So again, this is a bit of that head down, I'm going to let my work speak for itself, except when you've avoided networking actively, you are not able to create promoters and champions for you throughout the organization. So what happens when you're making one or all 3 of these mistakes is you're likely being overlooked for any of the new opportunities that are coming up. You're going to be undervalued and likely excluded from decision-making opportunities. Now, whether those decision-making opportunities are within your role or in the greater context of the organization you're in, you also want to be part of where the decisions are being made, if at all possible. So in order to have some influence on that, you need to be visible and need to be seen. This is also really important when it comes to your teams, because in order to be an effective procurer of resources for your teams, as well as being able to help your team promote out to other parts of your organization, right, for them to grow their career, visibility helps both you as well as your team. So I'm bringing this one in here as well because, and I didn't even add that into what I want to talk about today, but it is around about how women, we don't want to take away the accomplishment of another. We don't want, we really want to make sure that others are doing their very best. We want to create a great environment for them. And I'm not saying this is exclusively to women leaders, just to caveat that again. However, my experience so far is most women leaders are very much concerned with the team element, and are less focused on themselves and promoting themselves. So in that moment when you are staying hidden, where you don't want to step forward, maybe because you think, well, if I step forward, I'm being arrogant, or maybe I'm full of myself, or it just feels really icky in terms of promoting myself. You're also taking away opportunities for your team members to be seen, as well as their opportunities for growth as well. So what today I wanted to share with 3 steps, and this is a topic that's been coming up with several of my clients in the last couple of weeks within the Leadership Edge program. So I knew if it's coming up with a lot of my clients, then it's definitely a question that you are likely struggling with, or asking yourself, or someone who is struggling or asking for this. So if you are one of those that's either struggling with it, or of someone that could use these 3 steps, then make sure to share this video with them today. Okay. So before I get into those 3 steps, I am all looking for 5 women leaders who want to increase their visibility and their influence in their organization in the next 60 days. If that's you, then DM me visibility and let's have a conversation and to find out more. Okay. 3 steps, right? Promised 3 steps. So these are my favorite 3 steps that I have used very effectively, as well as the 60 plus women leaders I've worked with over the last couple of years, to increase your visibility in the next 30 days. So if you really want to supercharge your visibility, here's what you need to do. Now, the first step is I want you to start to create and track your achievements. So if you haven't already done this, and if you have, then you can skip this step. But the first step is to really start to create and track your achievements. So one of those methods is we're all familiar with, usually with a SMART method, right? Specific, measurable, actions, results, and the time. You write those out, keep track of them. So create a file for yourself, whether it's an Excel file, whether it's a Word document, whether it's emails that you keep in a specific folder. But I want you to start tracking all of your achievements, and include a specific column or columns on what was your role, what was your contribution, and what it is that you achieved. And then you can include an extra column in terms of who else was involved in this, what was your team's achievement, and what was their achievement, for if there's other people beyond your team involved, so that you can when it comes to promoting yourself, you are very clear as to the achievements that you have already in your back pocket. Because oftentimes when you're faced with a moment of like, okay, I need to promote myself, then your mind goes blank. So by first creating an overview for yourself and creating that master file, if you want to call it, for your achievements, this is what within the Leadership Edge program I call the achievement radar. So when you've created your own personal achievement radar, which is all about tracking your achievements and tracking your progress, you have got this so that you can start promoting each of those steps. So again, one of the things I really want you to hear about this is I really want you to get specific in terms of what was your contribution, what was your role, and what you achieved. Not just that of your team or anyone else involved, but you specifically. What was it that you contributed? How did you add value to that achievement that allowed that achievement to take place? Because that is too often something that we miss. All right, so that's step 1. Now, step 2, I want you to choose which accomplishment and with whom you want to promote this with, right? So you want to begin to increase your visibility by, first of all, figuring out, well, which achievement do I want to share and who can I promote this to? Now, this shouldn't be just simply to your manager or the next leader above you that you report into. Consider it in a wider context. Who are other people that are influencers within my organization? Who are consider the informal organizational structure of your organization. Where are the people that influence others in terms of their decision making or the direction of the organization, or in terms of people choices? Who are key stakeholders who could be interested in the outcomes of this achievement? Now, this sounds familiar. If you've been in project management, this is your sort of your stakeholder mapping, right? You want to start to identify all of the key people. And most women, especially if you're in a leadership position, you're familiar with this. However, you might not be doing this for your career specifically, for your own personal visibility. And when it comes time to promote, or when it comes time for new projects, or when it comes time to making that decisions are being made and opinions are being asked, you want to make sure that people are aware that you are a person that gets things done and that you achieve things, and that you are a fantastic asset to include. You want people coming to you offering you opportunities, and you want people coming to you offering you promotions and new leadership opportunities, rather than you having to go and find them and wanting and applying for them, or even not, just choosing not to apply because you're afraid you're not good enough for it. But that's another topic for another day. So the second step, I want you to match or choose which accomplishment that's on that list that you just created in step 1, which accomplishment it is that you want to promote, and to whom you want to promote it to, so you can begin to increase your visibility. Now, here's number 3. Number 3 is, now you're going to have all that ready, but you're going to decide how you want to promote it. Now, how do you want to promote it? Well, like I said, we want to do it in a way that doesn't feel necessarily icky or sticky or like you're overly arrogant. So consider, there's a couple of different ways that you can share that information. I'm going to share just 3 different ways right now. One would be just kind of casually mention it. So my favorite place, I always say, is a really great place to network or catch up, is the coffee machine. So rather than thinking, well, I need to make an appointment with someone in the senior leadership team, or with that specific stakeholder or the specific person that you want to promote your achievements to, run into them at the coffee machine, or you might see them in the elevator, right? But when you've got that achievement in the first step, you're clear on your achievements, you've chosen which ones you want to share and whom you want to share it to. This third step is all about, well, how do I share it? Right? So you could casually mention it. So, hey, good morning, Joe. I hope you're really enjoying your coffee this morning. By the way, I wanted to share a milestone I had reached recently. I was recognized by our department for my exceptional leadership skills, and it's been such a rewarding experience. I'm grateful for the support of our team. Okay, so you're casually mentioning and dropping that achievement in there. Now, this was just a recognition on in terms of leadership skills, but possibly you might have actually you have executed a strategy that worked really well, right? That brought in an extra new client. So it could be, if you want to more in terms of a reflection. Hey, Joe, it's always really nice to catch up to you. Was thinking about the progress that we've made in the last couple months, and it reminded me of a recent achievement. So, especially if you've been working with someone, or they have been interested in following the progress of of a project or a strategy, or an important piece of the organization that you're working on, you can just kind of connect that in that sense of like, hey, remember we've been doing this together, or we're connected in that way. And then you can start to say, well, I successfully implemented a new strategy that has significantly improved our team's collaboration or communication. Or, for example, I successfully implemented a new strategy which has brought in an additional 3 clients with X amount. So be specific, X amount of additional revenue into our department. It's really been a game changer for us. So again, you're just reflecting on your accomplishments, sharing that. Doesn't feel so sleazy anymore, does it? It doesn't feel like you're full of yourself by sharing, but you are, at the same time, you are really promoting it and planting a seed in that leader's mind of, hey, you know what? That Kim, she's getting things done. She's implementing and achieving results. She's getting results, and you can start attributing those results to you. A third way to do this is in the format of more seeking advice and sharing success. Now, I want to caveat because this is a little even more of a gentler approach, right? You could go full into the just completely go, hey, I just wanted to share. That might be a little bit too much directness for you. This is sort of the other side of the spectrum, right? You could just go for more like, okay, well, let's frame it in the sense I'm looking for advice while you also share a success. So you could say, hey, Joe, do you have a moment? I really want to chat to you about something. I've been working on a challenging project and I could use your expertise. I've already accomplished. Now you add in the specific milestones and achievements and the results that you've already accomplished. So there is your promotion of what you have achieved. And I'm really excited about it. I'd love to get your insights and hear your thoughts on how I can build on this success further. Okay, so again, it's a more of a gentler approach. It might be for you more natural approach as to how you can go in and set yourself up for promoting yourself. So just to recap, because I've shared quite a lot today, and I'd love to hear in the comments, or if you're in the DMs, you can always slide into the DMs with your comments and questions. Let's just recap this, right? If you want to supercharge your visibility in the next 30 days, here's my favorite 3 steps in order to increase your visibility. The first one, start with creating and tracking your achievements. This is in the Leadership Edge program. We call this the achievement radar. I want you to be specific as terms of what your role was, your contribution, and what you achieved. About you, right? So let's not just focus on what others in the team has done. I want you to specifically be very specific and clear on the role that you played, the value that you added in order to accomplish that achievement. The second step, choose which accomplishment and who you want to promote this with. So you want to begin to increase your visibility by becoming very aware. So it's a bit of your stakeholder mapping step, whereas who do I want to make sure that they know that I'm getting these results? What's the informal network that you want, influence network you want to start to promote it to, as well as what is the formal network, right? So what are the leaders that I want to increase my visibility with? And the third is in the sense of you need to do it, but choose how to. So I briefly shared just that casual mention. You could also do it more in a sense of reflecting on an accomplishment. And the third one was you can share your success while seeking advice. So three different ways of being able to promote without feeling like you're being arrogant or full of yourself or that icky feeling. All right. So now it's up to you to choose. You can implement these 3 steps and you will see you have increased your visibility in the next 30 days. Or you can choose to continue as you have been being under-recognized, undervalued, and continuously hoping that someone is going to actually see all of your hard work and notice all of your achievements. For me, I would choose the first one. I know that's, and the women that I've worked with, they have chosen that first one. They have started to build champions and promoting themselves and their achievements throughout the organization so that they have those new opportunities in terms of great new projects, great new promotion opportunities. So now that you know how to create the visibility for yourself, I want you to DM me when you have what your results are. And again, I'm looking for 5 women leaders who are ready to increase their visibility and their impact within the next 30 to 60 days. And if that's you, DM me visibility and let's have a conversation. I want to thank you so much. That is it for today. Let me know in the comments or in my DMs what has been helpful for you today. And if you have any questions, of course, that is what my DMs are for as well. We'll talk to you again soon.